357 mag. This is going to be a quick look of the SOG Northwest Ranger. Shazam! Look at that blade. I mean, my word, that's a beautiful blade. Look at that. Okay, what we're going to do again is we're going to go over the specs real quick. It's fit and feel, primary and secondary use, concept of use, the price point, outer barks, sharpness, and any final thoughts. Anyway, this is an AUS 8, okay, so that's good. It's a hardness is 57 to 58, so it's very hard for the steel. It's comparable to a 440B with a carbon content close to 75% or 0.75%. AUS 8 is often used instead of 440C, and again, SOG knives use AUS 8 exclusively. The blade length on this thing is 5.2 inches, which is a good size for this type of knife. The overall length is 9.93 inches. The blade thickness on this is 0.15. So it's a pretty thick knife. The weight on this is actually pretty light for this size knife. It's 6.2 ounces. And again, the handle on this is a craton, which I've covered in other knife reviews. Again, it's got the properties of natural rubber, but it really, because it's a craton, which is a synthetic, it gives you increased resistance to heat, weathering, and chemicals. And it is drilled for a lanyard. The country of origin on this is Taiwan. Again, the blade finish, which I like, is satin. Just look at that shine. I mean, that alone is gets me excited about the blade. It's a full tang. It's got a clip point, which is, as you can see, which is pretty standard for this kind of knife. The other thing about this is a full flat grind, so that's really nice. So again, when we get into concept of use, we'll talk about how the flat grind helps on this. Anyway, the fit and feel on this, it really feels good in my find. That craton really bites in. It's got a really nice trowel there, and it's got some serious jimping up here to do some, if you need some close-in work. Check that jimping out. And the jimping, by the way, is really, it digs at your hand quite a bit, so it's not a weak jimping. It does come with a leather sheath, which is got SOG imprint on it. And it's got a hole in the bottom, so if it gets wet, water will leak out. And it's a nice sheath. Again, it's made in Taiwan. It's not going to be your high-end polymer sheath, but again, it's a good sheath. Primary concept of use on this, I see it as a hunting survival knife. And the secondary concept of use, I think with the nice trail at the bottom and the jimping up here, you could use this as a combat tactical knife. Now this particular knife, I did some research on it, is on, it's $57 right now on eBay and Amazon, including the shipping, so that's not a bad price. But let's check out the sharpness out of the box. This thing is really sharp. It's really smooth through there. Minimal drag, and let's see what we can get. Okay, let me get this up there. Now you can tell how sharp a knife is when you get that kind of teeny curl out of there. That is something special. Okay, just real quick, knives that are similar to it. Since in this case I have a few knives I think are similar. You got the K-Bar Mark I, which is about the same blade length. It's the same kind of knife. Another one that's, I think, fairly competitive would be the SOG, what is that? Yeah, the Field Pup 2. Now if I get the blades lined up on these, which is the cutting surface on all these, you can see they're all about the same size. So again, any one of these three would be a really nice knife for the survival use. These two have flat ground, this is a hollow ground. And again, final thoughts on this particular knife. It's a high quality, mid-price fixed blade knife, and it's going to be great for hunting and survival. Now also, this particular knife here, I would recommend, you know, as a secondary concept to use because of the really nice troil and the really good jimping. Could be used in a combat and or tactical mode. Out of the box, you saw how sharp it was. I got that little teeny curl, which is hard to get, so that's really sharp. Would I buy this again? Absolutely. And again, I talked about the full fat grind on this. You remember, then that your hunting survival knife should be able to do some bushcrafting tasks and batoning a small wood. And with this having the full flat grind, that'll make it superior in the smaller wood for doing the batoning. Again, I'd like to thank you for your time. Have a great day. Remember, long live rock and roll and the American dream. And this don't give up our constitutional rights. And again, this is really a cool looking knife.